Welcome, this is Tenzin, and this is now the fifth of these small talks looking at what really meditation is and how we can begin to develop it. Now, meditation doesn't exist in a bubble. Like anything in the world, everything is interconnected, interrelated. And while we're trying to develop our calm abiding practice, we must be aware that the rest of our life as well is related and connected to what we're doing in our meditation practice. So there are foundations, there are principles, there are ways that we should adopt of living which aid and help help us to develop this capacity of being able to focus, of calm abiding. In principle, the foundation of our meditation practice is a certain level of ethical behavior. And that doesn't mean we have to follow a strict set of rules or prescriptions or something like that, but it simply means that if we live our lives harming other living beings continually, then what we'll find is that when we sit down and try and focus our mind in meditation, it simply won't stay there. That there'll be agitation, discomfort, and there'll be something wrong there in the mind which will block us from being able to focus on an object, to develop calm abiding. The opposite of that, of course, is to try and live a life where we're not harming others. Obviously, if we harm others accidentally, that's not the problem because there's no intention behind it. But to intentionally harm other people will not, or other living beings indeed, will not aid our meditation practice. And that may be killing, stealing, that may be lying, that may be sexual misconduct, that may be many ways that we can harm others. And it's not so much about the actions of doing those things, but it's the intention behind them. Do we want to hurt others? Do we want to cause problems? And if we do so, we'll find that that will not help our meditation practice. So a basic level, which most of us have, of fundamental ethics, morality, not to harm other people, is essential to be able to develop a calm abiding practice. Along with that, is a degree of simplicity in one's life. And that doesn't mean necessarily that you're completely divorced and separate from material possessions and careers and activity and so forth. But it's to do with one's attitude towards those things. And simplicity doesn't mean living without many things. What it means is living without being attached or grasping or holding on to many things. Because if you're holding on to food, drink, people, money, power, whatever it may be, if those things are the priority of your life, then when you sit down and try and focus your mind, that's where your mind will go. And however hard you try and focus and develop your calm abiding practice, you're never going to get very deep because your mind is easily going to be drawn away. So simplicity means living a life where you understand that these material things are not the be-all and end-all. They're not the source of my happiness. They're not going to make me completely happy while I rely on and enjoy a certain level of material comfort. There's no need to be attached to those things. There's no need to look at those things as the source of my happiness. So important. Because if we look at those things as the source of our happiness, they will always cause us agitation, discomfort, anxiety, fear. We will constantly be living within that dynamic of hoping for what we want and fearing for what we don't want. And if we live within that dynamic, it'll be very difficult for our minds to focus and concentrate. So again, a certain level of simplicity from the point of view of not grasping and being too overly attached to the externals of one's life. Because none of those things have the capacity to truly make us happy. It's within ourselves where happiness comes from. And if we can understand that principle, we can let go of that grasping, that attachment to those external things. And we still enjoy them. In fact, we enjoy them more once we've let go of them. Because if you're holding on to them and you're grasping and you're not wanting them to go away, you're losing your enjoyment. But when you let go and just be with whatever is there, not hold on to it, let it come and let it go, our enjoyment is actually more, increases. So again, the foundations for meditation practice, particularly calm abiding, which then leads on to the analytical type meditation practice, are a basic level of ethics and a degree of simplicity in one's life. Thank you.